And we're back. You're listening to Double Talk Radio here with DJ Matty and Double K. Joining us at this time, it is a great pleasure to have with us Nicole from the Raeliens. Am I saying that right, Nicole?
Yes, Raeliens.
Raeliens. Perfect. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My
pleasure.
Now, in a few minutes, we want to address the fact about the embassy in Canada. But before we go there, what is the history and a little bit about the beliefs of the Raeliens?
Well, the Raeliens are people from all over the planet who always thought that there must be a different way to understand the origin of life on Earth. I was one of them, and one day I encountered a man who wrote a book, and the book was called The Book That Tells the Truth. The story of this man, who was a journalist in France in 1973, he didn't know why, but he was kind of attracted to go to a place where he usually goes in the summer. And it was December, so he didn't know, what am I doing here? He was asking himself. And then suddenly in the sky, he saw something flashing very, very bright light. Initially, he thought it was like an helicopter, but because there was no noise, he started feeling that's not what I think. And then this thing started going down vertically and stopped close to the ground. A trap opened under it. It had the shape of a bell, what we used to call a flying saucer or UFOs. And he was kind of nervous because we're so intoxicated with all the movies that portray people from outer space as enemies, invaders, and dangerous people.
Right.
So
evil,
he was nervous,
people.
but there was no reason to be nervous. A human being came out with no weapon in his hands, and he walked to him, and he said, if you came here this morning, it's because we telepathically guided you to come here because we have a very special mission for you.
And this, Nicole, just for people who don't know, this is the Elohim, right?
Actually, the person who was in the flying saucer said, we are called, if you want to call us Elohim, and it means those who came from the sky. This word is an Hebrew word, and you can find it in the Bible, actually. It has been translated by God or gods, and it's actually those who came from the sky.
Okay.
And it was impossible in a long time ago to understand that meaning, because when you don't know that it's possible to fly in the sky, you can only mystify what comes from the sky. So God was, the interpretation of God was the one that was there for a long time. But they came here and they said to this man, we created life on Earth. We are scientists. We came here 25,000 years ago. We came with artists to create all kind of life that you have on this planet. And they started with plants, and then eventually they started creating animals who were eating the plants. And then as their technique progressed, they started creating more complex animals.
Now, Nicole, sorry to interrupt, but so according to your beliefs, how old would Earth be? Does it coincide at all with either the Bible or evolution, or do you have your own origin?
Well, the planet has been there for we don't know how long. What we're talking about now is just life on the planet. Life on the planet is 25. They came 25 years ago initially, and it took them a long time to explore the surrounding of the planet, and they started creating life after that. It was not done from day one to day two. Does it coincide with the dating of those who believe in evolution? I don't think so. They put numbers that are way bigger than the time that they came, which was 25,000 years ago.
Way bigger meaning way longer? Way longer?
Yes, way
yeah.
longer. Yes,
okay.
yes. because they said they came here 25,000 years ago. But those who put age on the fossils, they put that age a lot earlier than that. So it doesn't match. And they say that our technique of datation is not accurate.
Right, and there's always going to be controversy and whatnot. But now, I mean, a lot of the things that you explain, or the books explain, are much in parallel to not just the Bible, but religion, right? Like you said, Elohim is a biblical name. Now, at one point, they state that there's 40 people that were acting as prophets.
Yes, that's exact. That because after creating animals, they decided to create human beings in their own image, like it's written in the Bible. So they are like us.
Right, and those prophets would have been Elijah, Muhammad, John the Baptist, Joseph Smith from the Mormons.
Exactly.
So,
Buddha also.
Buddha, you're right.
And why did they have prophets? It's because after creating life on Earth, they went back to their own planet, and they wanted the prophet to keep a trace of their creation, because they were planning on letting our humanity progress thanks to generations of mixing different people, and eventually they were hoping that we would come to the stage of discovering science, which is the time where we are now. And they said, when those people that we created will be scientifically advanced enough to understand that we have created them thanks to our science, we will come back, and we hope that the prophets will be able to leave some traces of our work on earth, our creation. And that's what happened. That's why we have the Bible now, that we cannot take word for word, but it talks about the creation. And it's not exactly 7 days, it's more 7 steps.
Okay. Now, only because we're on a time limit here, and I'll give you a chance to tell people how to get the books and find out more information before you leave tonight. But let's go to Vorhan's journey when he first saw the UFO and he was taken away. What happened to him when he was first taken away? It was 25 years ago, right? No, it would have been more than that.
Actually, it's more than that. It was in 1973, the first time that he met. It was about 1 hour every day for 6 days, 6 consecutive days. And he was asked to take notes, and eventually to write a book to explain what I just summarized for you.
Right.
And then 2 years later, in 1975, they came back, and then they took him to their planet. And that's where he met with the different prophets. That's where he discovered their technology and their science. That's where he witnessed, for instance, a cloning of himself in a kind of a big machinery, where he saw a new body, an exact replica of himself, come out of there in a very short period of time. And that's what the extraterrestrial explained to him, that eternal life is possible thanks to science.
Right. So
thanks to the DNA of each individual, you can recreate that person.
And now, from what I observe of reading of this, so what you're saying is that there is a supercomputer that reads your DNA in the last days. So you don't necessarily believe in an afterlife or a reincarnation. You believe that there is a almost of a cloning of yourself, right?
Yes, it's a good comparison. This is a life after death, but not thanks to I don't know, something spiritual, but thanks to your genetic code. Well, that's what was called in other religion the soul. What is the soul actually? It's what animates the matter. What does animate the matter is your genetic code. So that genetic code is identified to you by them, and they can also trace all your behavior, what you do through your life, and eventually they will give eternal life to some of us who deserves it.
Okay. Now, all right, so now let's go into a little bit more modern times. So after Vorhan, is back, he's done this journeys, he's writing these books. Let's talk about some modern day practices that have been done. Like one of the things he suggested was taking this supercomputer to reanimate, or whatever you want to call it, Hitler, to have him tried for his crimes. Mm-hmm. So how would have that, not a rebirth, so it would have been this supercomputer bringing Hitler back, mm-hmm. and then humanity would have tried him. So if we would have, let's say we would have said, okay, Hitler, you were a terrible man, which he was. We are now going to condemn you to suffering. Would that computer reanimation suffer?
Well, that's a very interesting reflection. I actually don't have the answer to that. Yes, they say basically that it's possible for them to recreate any human being and to reward those who help our humanity to progress and spread love on this planet, and to do the opposite for the other ones. Now, are they going to do it? I don't know.
Well,
we sometimes talk about it, and we ask ourselves, is there really any utility to do it? We don't know exactly what they will do, but we know that this is a possibility because their computer can put the memory and the personality of the deceased in a new body, which would be let's say, a younger copy
of the robot.
Of the person, yes, of the deceased.
But and again, you may not know the answer to this, but where my question comes up so if I am a good person and I am to be rewarded as being given my memories, would it just be a constant state of me dreaming my pleasant memories? As an evil person, would I be suffering in what I've done wrong? And how would I be able to affect future generations positively, I guess is my or negatively, I guess would be my question.
Mm-hmm. Well, they say, I don't know if I will have the exact answer to your question, but they say that whatever happened in your life at this moment, let's say, without being eternal or being recreated, they said some suffering people do horrible things. They kill people, but they said if after committing a murder, for instance, you find a way to save many lives, the balance will be positive at the end of your life, so you might deserve a reward also. So it's a matter of what do you do with your life after making a mistake. If you do reparation and do the opposite, like saving many lives, it's a positive balance.
Right. I'm just wondering, I don't know, maybe I watch too much science fiction and stuff like that, but so anyway, that's something for us to ponder as well. So what are some of the other, like, and again, what about now, you've recently, and I don't know if it was you personally that did this, but recently you've gone to the Canadian government, and you've you know, as a foreign country, someone can gain an embassy in this country and not be taxed. And you have gone, and you have a literal temple with a landing field and everything that you want to build here in Canada. What's the thought on that, and where are we standing with that?
Yes, I was part of the team who went to Ottawa, and it was very interesting because we gave a brochure explaining the project of the embassy. Why an embassy? Some people say, well, those people are so powerful. Why do they need an embassy to come on this planet? Actually, they don't need an embassy. They could come without us even knowing it. Actually, what they said to Rael, they said, talk about us. We would like to come back among you, people that we created, and not be taken for gods. We would like to come and be demystified by your explanation and by you writing the book and explaining it to everyone. And when enough people on this planet will look forward to meeting with us face to face as adults, as understanding people, not as believers, then build an embassy and we'll meet the representative of the most important countries of the planet, we'll meet with the media. We want to give you more science and more of our knowledge, and we will stay on the planet with you for a few days. So that's the project of the embassy, a place where they will meet with those important people, and also they need some bedrooms. They will sleep here. They need bathrooms. They need a dining room. They would like to have a pool too. So it's like an embassy with 7 bedrooms, which is kind of a normal size of embassy.
Now, do they require the Elohims? Do they require the same things as us? Do they use oxygen? Are they physical beings? Are they energy?
Yes. They are so similar to us that they will use bedrooms, a cafeteria, restaurant, and bathrooms also. So they can breathe our air. They will require a kind of aseptization of corridors because their immune system, I suspect, is a little different. But beside that, they are really similar to us.
Now, obviously, the fear of, I'm only one person. I can only give my opinion, but the fear is are they violent? The way you explain it is no, but at the same time, they have this supercomputer which is cloning us. They could build an army against us. They could do so many things. What do we have to fear, if anything?
Well, I think we have to fear only ourselves. We are dangerous. We have more than needed on our own planet to destroy any kind of life. So we don't have to look at the sky to be afraid of anything. If they had wanted to, destroy us, it would be very, very easy for them. But they have no intention of doing it. What they know is that they learn after creating life on our planet, they learn that they have been created the same way by another scientific civilization. And this civilization, their creators, transferred their science to them, and they understand that through the universe, which is infinite, this is a process of passing life from one place to the other. And they have no certainty that their solar system, which is in the same galaxy as ours, will be eternal. And they say, if something happens to us, we'll make sure that you receive our knowledge the way we received the knowledge of our own creators. So that's their goal, to keep life existing. They just hope that our level of consciousness will raise to match with our level of science, and that we will stop building atomic weapons, which jeopardize the balance of life.
Everyone, exactly.
Yes, we are dangerous to ourselves. We don't need to fear anyone else besides ourselves.
Right. Now, Nicole, I wouldn't be doing, my audience justice or myself for taking this, and forgive me because you've been perfectly awesome with this. Now, you have certain positions, though, on things like women's rights to be topless, cloning human beings. The writer of the books himself has talked about masturbation. Are these publicity stunts, or are these firm groundings in the religion?
Those are all beautiful things. You know, I don't know many men who object women being naked. It's beautiful. They created us in their image, and they say, "Why are you ashamed of your body?"
And I
it's
personally,
like an insult.
Yeah, I personally would have no problem, but.
And masturbation, well, masturbation is the first step to discover our own body. Giving ourselves pleasure is so legitimate. And if people were more comfortable with that part of their sexuality, there would be less rape, less aggression on women, and more happy people. Who does it hurt? Nobody. So we talk about taboo subject, not to make publicity. It's because it's part of liberating human beings from their own taboo, which have been imposed by previous religions. Now, all sexologues say that masturbation is good and we should practice it a little more to be happier. It's a gift. And why not enjoy it?
You know, and you gotta. This is normally a comedy show, Nicole, but I mean, you've really educated us a lot. But we all enjoy masturbation, all of the hosts. I know that because we've talked about it before.
Well, we have a big point in common. The difference is that maybe, I don't know if you talk about it a lot, but we talk about it, and I think a lot of people think...
Oh, we talk about it a lot.
Okay.
We talk about it a lot.
I hope you don't only talk about it.
No. Well, obviously, we're talking to you, too. We're doing some learning. But, yeah, we talk about it enough. Let's put it that way.
And, you know, one great sexologist, she said any sexual act is a socialization of masturbation.
Right.
I think I like that sentence.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And why not?
Now, Nicole, I'm sorry, as I say to a lot of my guests, because our guests, we could go on about this for hours and hours and hours and hours. I would love to have you back again.
It would be my pleasure.
And get updates and whatnot. But more importantly, for people that have been listening and would like more information and would like to study and learn more about the short time you spent with us, how can they find out what books, what websites?
It's very, very easy. It's www.rael, like in Israel, just the four letters, RAEL.org.
Okay,
and then on that site you can you choose the language, and then you can download all the books for free, and it's beautiful. And you can join our online meditations, and you can find people around you in your city that also share the same ideas. You can come to what we call the Happiness Academy, where we learn together how to be happier, and you see remove from our head all the dusty concepts that prevents us from being totally happy.
And if someone wants to get more into the actual philosophy and the history of what you believe in, the books are available and the information as well.
Yes. The books are downloadable for free.
Awesome. You know, I'm probably going to read them. I like to be well-versed. Nicole, thank you so much for spending some time with us.
My pleasure, and you've been very kind and respectful, so let me know when you want to talk about any topic. We have so many things that we can share and bring the Raelian touch to any subject.
All right, I appreciate that, Nicole, and you take care of yourself.
And my regards to Maddie and DG.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on tonight.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was actually pretty cool.
I was expecting something completely different.
I was too.
Weren't you expecting it to go right off the wall? And
it didn't. Like, I mean, okay, there were certain things that maybe were
a little warped.
A little bit.
But you know what?
But it didn't seem like
that far out.
Yeah.
It
didn't seem outrageous. You know what I mean?
Other than the aliens, which you either believe in that stuff or you don't. But I mean, some of us believe in a God. Some of us don't. Some of us believe there is something out there. And if it is something like that, it's pretty cool. But at the same time, I'm really intimidated by that DNA searching supercomputer. That to me is scary. If that's what you want to believe in.
I just think that it's like...
I just think that supercomputer could be dangerous.
I believe in aliens. I also believe in some kind of God. I don't know. I don't know what the truth really is.
No, I don't think any of us do. And it's always food for thought. Right?
It's just that the universe is so large, how could there not be?
Oh, I believe there is. I just can't say this is the be-all, end-all, or whatever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean,
what do you think, Maddie? We're overdue our break, but Hoff can wait.
Yeah, I gotta pee too.
All right. Well, you go pee, but tell us really quickly. You always gotta pee. You have a bladder infection, okay?
I have an iron bladder, but it is the size of a fucking grain of rice.
You know, I don't know what you're drinking, but, like, cut it back by half.
To me, it was interesting. I mean, I think everybody here knows that, I mean, I don't openly talk about it. I make a point not to talk about religion or politics openly, but I am atheist. I do not believe in a God. I do believe in aliens. Do they fucking control us? No, were we put here by them? You know, we're never going to know the answers.
It's just
everybody has their own belief system, and if that's what makes them happy and gets them through the night, then more power to them.
And it's like we always say, you just never know who's going to stop by the water cooler.
Does that... What she was just talking about, that could be, like, what if that was, like, the be-all, end-all thing, just like, you know, anything else out there could be.
Hey, when we die, they make us into young robots with our memory, and they like it when you masturbate. So it's not all that bad.
Sounds right up your alley.
It was, you know, right up my alley. And you'll realize that when you get married, DJ, when you find your significant other and they're like, not tonight, not tonight. You'll turn to self-gratification. Trust me. And you'll close your eyes and envision whatever it is you want to envision, which is the same we do with UFOs and whatnot. Anyway, we're going to take a break, folks. You're listening to Double Talk Radio and Talk Radio Without Rules. And when we say this, Violet's the one that coined this phrase many years ago. You just never know who is going to stop by or what is going to happen at the water cooler. So,
no.
Sometimes more times than not, we're zany and crazy. Tonight we got a little bit, more philosophical. But, anyway, let's take a break, and when we come back, I guarantee you this guy's going to want to talk about sex